Shavua Tov and Gute Woch. We are in Motzei Shabbos. We just finished Shabbos, the Sabbath of Parshas Bereshit, the first Torah reading of the year. And we know from the teachings of Hasidus, the previous Rebbe quotes from the Rebbe Rashab, who quotes from the Alter Rebbe, who quotes from the Baal Shem Tov, that how we behave on this Shabbos, we are influencing the whole year. And so tonight's Baal Shem Tov story should bring a blessing for the entire year. And tonight's story from the book, the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, the praises of the Baal Shem Tov, requires a bit of a previous knowledge of halacha, of Jewish law. I want to do a lechaim, for a blessing for a good year, all year round. The title of the story is Neder HaPrishus, the vow of abstinence, of celibacy, but the story really is about what happened when we make a neder. This is the previous knowledge, a vow, an oath, that then we cannot fulfill, we cannot live up to. The Rambam, Maimonides, in the Yad Chazaka, the Mishneh Torah, his compilation of Jewish law, makes a very, very strong case about not making such nedarim, such oath, in the first place. If I am going to commit myself through words, I should make it such that I have a way out. Okay? We say, bli neder, I don't want to make a neder. I don't want to make an oath on this. Because once I make an oath, then I have to fulfill it. If I make an oath of something I cannot fulfill, and when against something I can do, I already put myself in trouble. Now, let's go to the story. Shamati, I heard. There are additional points of the story that much later in the book they mention, but I heard from the Rav of our community, the Rav of Linz, a story that the Baal Shem Tov saw in Rav Gershon, his brother-in-law, a Roshima, a Roshem, a Pugam, it was literally an impression, but a spiritual fault caused by adultery. And the Baal Shem Tov suffered terribly by seeing this. He was ashamed to mention this to his brother-in-law. You know, where would this come from? Anyway, he came and he told him what he saw. Rav Gershon got upset, called him, "You're a liar," and hit him. I don't know if hit him with a closed hand, with an open hand. He hit him. And the Baal Shem Tov said, "Wait until tomorrow. Even though you don't like what I just told you, I see that there is such a roshem, such an impression from heavens on you." Basically, when he mentions the niyuf, the adulterer means his wife, something about his wife. So that night, the Baal Shem Tov started doing yichudim, these Kabbalistic kavanos, concentrations in the name of Hashem, the Yud-Ke Vav-Ke, how he combined the first two letters with the last two letters, putting together with the name of the Jewish people, and then he was able to see a revelation from Shamayim through this Kabbalistic kavana, where this Roshem came from. The next day, Baal Shem Tov told Rabbi Gershon, "You made a neder of prishus, of abstinence, and I heard from the heavens that the Rambam gave a psak. The Rambam, Maimonides, gave a ruling that if a man tells his wife, "You are like my mother," even though he didn't do a neder, but he is taking her as his mother, and obviously with a mother we cannot have intimate relationship. So just by saying that and implying such a thing, you have made a neder. This has implied an oath, and that cost a Roshem im Shamayim, because of something that happened while you a happening that happened when you fasted from one Shabbat to another. Remember, the Baal Shem Tov is against such fasts, and because you did not fulfill your neder, you broke your neder, your oath of celibacy, basically by saying "You are like my mother" to his wife. He implied that he was not going to be with her, and by doing such, and then he did not fulfill it, he caused a rupture, a break, a negative impression up in the heavens. So that is what I saw that looks like a niyuf, an adultery. It's not adultery. You were faithful, your wife was faithful. I saw this happening because you did not fulfill your neder, the oath that you did when you said this to your wife. Rab Gershon Hoda, he said, "You are right, this is true. That is what happened." What happens is that Rab Gershon wanted to travel to Eretz Israel, to the Holy Land. So he separated from his wife to attain a certain level of purity, fasting and abstinence and celibacy. So he kept a distance from her. And then he wasn't able to fulfill his will. He wanted to be with his wife once before the long trip. That's when he caused to break the neder, not even realizing what he was doing. Then the Baal Shem Tov and Rab Gershon start doing tikkunim, spiritual corrections, until in the heavens he was able to remedy that roshem, that crack, that negative impression. And then the Rab Gershon with the Baal Shem Tov became so attached that they caused a spark to come from Shamayim, and the Rab Gershon had a son with his wife from this spark, from this holiness. There came Reb Leib, the Maggid Yesharim of the Kehillah of Ledizan. This is the son of Rab Gershon. About him, the Mochiach of Polonoi said that in his entire life he never had a kri, he never had a nocturnal emission. He was only able to give seed when he was with his wife. Okay, it's almost like the limit of what I can tell on a story, right? But this son was always on a very high spiritual level. When I spoke with the Maggid Meshalim of the Kehillah regarding this story, he did not know anything about it. So this was a story that they kept very much hidden, private, or in secret. Nevertheless, it was written here, and apparently in story number 103, which is quite a ways off, there is another version of this story. Asking everyone for support. Please like, subscribe, share, help spread the stories of the Baal Shem Tov. I'm telling them from the book Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, and this week was story number 47. Blessing to everyone. Shavua Tov, Good Tevach.